Good evening. Hi, who's that? Hello? Hello, who's that? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, who's that?
It's Dino.
Dino, hi, how are you, ma'am?
Yeah, not too bad, you?
Gordon.
Good, good.
Good, so you've been to see your folks today, I hear?
Sorry?
You've been to see your folks?
Yeah, went to see them. Yeah, so I'm still with them now at the moment.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, listen, well done for dialing into the call, and, we'll hopefully keep it short and sharp so that you can enjoy the rest of the time with your folks.
Yeah, no problem. So I say I'm on my way back to the club and that tomorrow morning, so...
Okay, brilliant. Who else was that on the call?
Emanuela?
Hi, Manuela, how are you?
Fine.
Good. So we're going to start the call. We'll just give it a minute or so until we have a few more callers on the line. You know what it's like on a Sunday night. Hi, who's that?
Mark and James.
No, hi, Mark. We might have to get you guys to mute you on the call because given that you're in the car, it's a little bit noisy.
Okay, just a second.
*0. Hi, who's coming to the call?
Oh, hi, this is Lorna.
Hi, Lorna.
Hi.
It's Gordon here.
Hello, Gordon. Am I the first one?
Pardon?
Am I the first person?
No. There's a few of us on the call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're all just been very quiet. Okay. Hello, who's that?
Hi, Gordon. It's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good. We'll carry on with our Facebook conversation, shall we?
Yes, definitely.
Now, look, you're doing a lot of things right. I mean, what we're going to talk about tonight is a lot of the things that you're doing, so that's great.
Okay, cool. I've actually spent most of the day on the phone with O2 actually trying to sort out a reasonably large phone bill, which I'm now changing onto a tariff, so...
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That's not for this call.
No, definitely not.
Hi there, who's that?
It's me, Gordon.
Oh, hi, darling. Okay, we'll just
anybody else
a few more minutes and then we'll start the call.
Who else is on?
Hi, Michelle, it's Jeff.
Dino,
Hi,
we've
Jeff.
got Manuela, we've got Mark and James who are on silent because in the car, Lorna, and yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
we've got a few moments anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, we'll just give it one more minute. So Dino was saying he spent the day with his folks up in Essex.
Well done. I'm glad you managed to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm still here now, so I'm obviously it's been a long time since.
Did your mum say about time?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long while.
So I bet they were pleased to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, who was that just come on the call? Oh, not admitting to it.
Oh, James is on the call.
Oh, James, hi. Well done.
Okay.
All right, listen, I think what we'll do, we'll start the call, and if any people come on, we'll just have to kind of take it there. Let's just press star and star 0, and we'll mute the call, and then, apart from you, Michelle, and then we will get started. Okay, brilliant. Well done for everybody on the call tonight, and thank you for your time on this Sunday night. This is the third of a series of calls which are aimed really at the new distributor. they use the starter guide, which is really our 5-step guide as to how to get a new distributor started. If you haven't seen one, you can download it from the website. You can get a copy of it from your upline sponsor. But the first week we really talked about how to get started, your own story, really going through compiling a list of names and then being able to sit down with your sponsor, qualifying that down, planning out some of the events that you want to go to, and then speak to how you would actually kind of go and kind of speak to some of your people with that. Last week we talked about the Fast Track Senior Direct and Fast Track Sales Coordinator, and I've got to say that we've had a fantastic month last month, and culminating in great promotions. And I know we've got a couple of people that got promoted on the call tonight, Mark Colburn and James Knight, who are in their car so they can't speak, but they got promoted. One qualified national marketing director, the one to international marketing director. So that was fantastic for all the team to see that happening. What I'd like to talk about tonight is about retention, about looking after your customers. And I think this is quite important for a couple of reasons. One is that the customers are the lifeblood of our organization. Unless somebody actually kind of buys the product, unless we kind of retail the product off to somebody, no one's going to make any money. So it's very important that once you do get a customer, that you actually look after them. It's probably more important this month than anything else to be speaking about this, because we've had an amazing kind of increase in customers in the UK. We're speaking about over 20,000 new customers in the UK. But within our own groups, we've had almost a 500% growth on this time last year. So, we clocked up a huge number of new customers this month, and this month in particular being, I call it Transformation Month. It's where everybody tries to kind of really get themselves back on track with their health, and it's no wonder that we've had such a huge success in the UK. So taking care of your customers and following up on your customers is one of the best things that you can do. And, Juice Plus have kind of looked into this in many ways, and they know that the first 100 days, they've identified this as the most critical for developing a satisfied customer. And, the customers want to feel valued, especially in a person-to-person relationship where they've taken on trust with you and they've bought that product because of your recommendation. So, our job is to look after them, is to make sure that we kind of give them a great service, because I think we're all used to now, being self-service, and what we kind of try and do with our Juice Plus businesses is give that extra special service for people. And, for people building long-term businesses, the most important thing that you can do, and, I've seen this from my own success within Juice Plus, is to kind of look after and build a really good interpersonal relationship with the customers and the team that you bring in. And, long-term, if you look after your customers, from your customers, you're going to get advocates. And from your advocates, you're going to get disciples who might even become distributors. And we know that roughly about 10% or so of all the customers will then become distributors, and they will become your best distributors. So that's very important to go down that route. And, at the end of the day, we are, if you like, governed by the fact that the more customers we have out there within our own groups, the better it is. Now, in the starter guide, it talks about this 100-day customer care plan, and it starts very much from a range of emails that come out from the company. So when you fill in that customer order, it's very important to get two things fairly clear. One is the customer details and telephone number, especially the telephone number, and secondly, the email address. And make sure the email address is completely clear. If you're going to kind of email or fax it in, if you're putting it online, make sure you've got that information correct. Because what the company will do is the company, during this 100-day period, will send out 7 email responses to the customer to help you with the follow-up. They'll also give you the script for 3 very important phone calls that you're going to make during the course of that 100-day period. And the script, when you see them, will tell you, first of all, after 10 days, confirm that the customers received the product, confirm that they've also received the first email, double check the email address if they haven't, confirm that they're taking Juice Plus as indicated. The amount of times that I've phoned up some customers and, despite me telling them take the fruits in the morning and the vegetables in the afternoon, or the fruits and berries in the morning, vegetables in the afternoon, they've either just taken them all at once, or, they've perhaps split them up or whatever else. So, really make sure that you've got that message out there. And then at that first call, answer any questions that they've got. People don't care how much you know until you show how much you care for them, and that's very important to establish that. So that's after 10 days, and then after 30 days, the first month that people are actually shipped that product, is very much, getting on the phone again, confirming that they're still taking Juice Plus as indicated. You might actually find that they've got a few challenges, maybe not drinking enough water, whatever else. Congratulate them on developing the Juice Plus habit if they have actually managed to do that. And also, this is where you start to trickle some information. Tell them that as part of their, if you like, customer service, they're entitled to come along to nutritional meetings for free. And we've got a Juice Plus event coming up in your area on such and such a date. And what you want to do is invite your customer along. And that's going to cement that relationship and cement that understanding. If you've got some email messages that have come from NSA and they don't quite understand them, then, do be prepared to actually discuss them. And after this call tonight, I'll put up a few pages on the various websites, Facebook pages, so you can actually see what we're talking about there. Make sure that if they are interested to find a little bit more, maybe you send them some YouTube clip or some brochure or some articles or whatever else. So again, it reinforces that message. Then within the 100 days, the last call that you personally would make, unless you're actually kind of got calls coming in from customers, would be the month before. It's 100 days, and it's just before the next shipment is actually due. And what you're looking to do here is you're looking to confirm that they're still taking Juice Plus as indicated, that they haven't got behind in terms of taking the product. You want to congratulate them again on developing this habit. See if there's any interest in, again, attending that nutritional meeting. Be prepared to discuss any more new emails. At this point, you might want to actually introduce them to some of the other products that are available within the Juice Plus range. So it doesn't have to be just the Juice Plus capsules. You could tell them maybe about the Complete, or you could tell them, if they're just on fruit and veg, how the berries work and all the rest of it. And just reinforce that staying healthy, and it is a lifetime commitment in terms of that. So that's what I'm going to say at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to Michelle, and Michelle and I work this business together. We've got our own separate businesses. We've got our own separate customer and user bases. And, I hear Michelle almost kind of, fairly regularly on a daily basis speaking to her customers. She makes sure that, they're all well informed that, when the next box is going to be shipped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass over to Michelle, who's going to pass back to me later on, and I'll just talk to you through some of the reports that you can get off to help you on this. So Michelle, would you just like to take over now?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. So just following on from what Gordon said, I really think that one of the main secrets to maintaining and growing the business is looking after your customers. I mean, we spend a lot of effort building our business, and we focus that on attracting new Juice Plus customers. But once we've got those customers, the real key to long-term success is keeping those customers, customer retention, helping those customers to stay on Juice Plus. And obviously this is not just good for our business, but it's good for their well-being. So you're really creating a relationship with the customer. And I always think, what would I want if I was a customer? I'd want to be looked after. And I think that's the thing of creating that relationship. I know Gordon sort of touched on all of this. And it is making sure that they have all the information that they need. And for some people, that's a lot more than for others. And that's why it is important to get that sort of relationship going, because you'll get a feeling for what they want. If there's somebody that's asking lots and lots of questions, you know that they're ready to receive more information. On the other hand, you don't really want to bombard somebody with information if they're not ready to receive that information. So it's really sort of looking at their needs and finding out what they've got, you know, or what's relevant to them. I think when you've signed somebody up, it's important that you keep in touch with them and find out how regularly they want you to keep in touch. You know, whether it's somebody that is really, really busy and they're not going to want that sort of constant. But as Gordon said, that fourth phone call that you make, or the phone call that you make before that next box goes out, so after the 4 months, before they're due their next box, is absolutely vital, because the number one reason why people cancel is because they get another box sent out to them that they weren't expecting or they weren't ready for it. So if you're not particularly good at customer retention, that is the one call that you really, really have to make. But as I say, you know, if we can all get into that routine of working with our customers, so we're building a good relationship with them, and from that you can encourage that, what I call a raving fan. When that customer becomes a raving fan, that's when you can actually ask them for referrals. Who else do you know who would also benefit by this? And of course, when you get to the stage that they're really loving the product, you can actually talk to them about the business. You know, it's something that you can invite them to come along to a meeting to find out more. The other thing I always like to do is find an article. So if somebody said to me that they've got, you know, arthritis or any other ailment, or their children are suffering with something, you know, if I come across something on the internet and that's right, that really, you know, Mrs. So-and-so was asking me about that, just a little, you know, email, I came across this, I thought of you. It just, again, you know, reinforces that relationship and shows them that you're actually thinking of them and caring about them. And obviously we've got lots of different, you know, information on the website. Dr. Mitra Ray's website is fantastic for getting bits and pieces of information from. Obviously, the more you attend events yourself, you can share that information. You know, for those of you that were at Reading last weekend, Nigel's talk was phenomenal. You know, are you sweet enough? There was so much information there. You know, one or two clients I instantly thought of, must remember to send that on to them. So again, it's always, you know, thinking of who needs that information that you've just heard and that you've just come across. Diet plans work well. If, you know, anybody's using Complete and they're wanting to lose weight, I mean, the weight loss program is absolutely massive. So I think, again, it's, you know, working out sort of, you know, diet plans, working with the PTs to get some exercise plans. Bex in our team has got a fantastic recipe book out, and there's some great information in there that you can also pass on. So really keeping in touch, another great way to do that is through Facebook, using support pages. So, you know, getting your customers, be it that they're on a weight loss plan, doing the 36-day transformation or whatever it is, I think that's a great way of offering them support, and everybody can work together. WhatsApp, I know a lot of you are using that, but you can get your groups together in chats and help, again, just to give that customer that feeling of support, really. So follow up with the emails, the texts, calls. I always ask, how would they like to be contacted? So I'm not just sort of, you know, if somebody's doesn't want lots of emails because that's what they get from work, find out what they want, whether it's the odd phone call, whether it's a text, whether it's email, and then start inviting them to meetings. You know, once you've got that customer who really is enjoying taking Juice Plus, she's getting the results, get them to come to the meetings or in-home meetings or even just small get-togethers, because that's when you will start getting your referrals. And from those referrals, you know, you never know then when somebody, you can start talking about the business to bring them in, you know, as a team member. I think that's right. Customers actually make the best distributors, I would say. You know, they really do become a raving fan when they get to that stage that they're, you know, singing from the rooftops about how fantastic Juice Plus is. They're referring, you know, their friends and family to you. You know, they deserve that opportunity to be a part of your team. So I think that's really kind of just, you know, touching very, very briefly on what I wanted to say. But, you know, it just makes sense that if you look after your customers, rather than constantly replacing existing customers, if you let them sort of run out, it's that leaky bath syndrome. It's far better to look after the customers and keep that customer than having to constantly find new customers. That's where the real hard work is. Keeping the customers, is an awful lot easier. So I hope that just makes sense. I'll hand back to Gordon, and I think we'll open up to questions as well towards the end. So if you've got any questions on that, you can ask me.
Fantastic. Well done, Michelle. And, it really is about just kind of seeing the ways that we can actually build that relationship even closer with people. And I remember reading a statistic that if you get a benefit from something and it's good news, you will share it something like 5 or 6 times. Unfortunately, if it's bad news, you'll actually share it 20 times. So, what we need to do is make sure that our customers are kind of sharing it in a positive way, and that's the very most important thing. Also, when someone's on something for the very first time, they tend to get a little bit more excited about it, and that's a great time to actually kind of start to go for some referrals on that basis as well. I know that Michelle touched about the Facebook support group pages. We use these ourselves within our own group, but the successful distributors I'm seeing, once you start to get, 10, 20, 30 customers, even before that, you can actually start up a Facebook page. You can keep it secret. You only have to have your own customers on there. And then what you tend to find is that the distributors and the customers that are actually contributing it will actually answer the questions and help answer the questions that people start to pose there. And it's almost like a self-support group. It's a very, very powerful way for you to actually kind of have a medium to speak to people. And I know I spoke to a distributor earlier on tonight, and we were talking about the Healthy Highlanders, which was a Scottish group that he set up for some of the weight loss complete, and he was posting things like recipes up there, and just helping other people, and the guys that were actually using and taking Juice Plus were actually helping themselves. When they actually had a question, they would answer it on behalf of everyone else.
And just to bring in here, Gordon, just say that remember that 27 Premium Plus customers will qualify your business every single month. Yeah. So by keeping those customers, making sure that you're qualifying, that's another thing. Yeah. And, I've had customers for 16, 17 years on Juice Plus. There's no reason why you can't keep people as long as that on Juice Plus, providing, you're keeping in touch with them. So if we go through into the back office, I'm just going to briefly touch a couple of things that are very important, is that when you actually complete a Juice Plus preferred customer application, at the very end, it asks you to actually, do you want to add that into your customer account, and do you want to opt for these emails, etc. Once you select that, you're then going to get, when you come into your Juice Plus back office, you're going to get My Alerts. And, if you were into your page now, it might kind of typically say you have one new customer this month or several new customers this month, and you might actually say you've got one new customer whose next shipment date is within the next 10 days. So this is your fairly last chance to speak to your customer if they're going to get it shipped within the next 10 days. And by clicking on that customer, it will go into another sheet, and it will give you the name of the customer, the telephone of the customer, the date that it was physically kind of subscribed to, and the next date. So here I am, I'm looking on my screen. I've got a customer in Edinburgh who's coming up, who actually kind of has been on the product since 2000, so 14 years on Juice Plus, and his next delivery date is on the 5th of February. Now, I know this person personally. I've already spoken to him. I know that he'll be fine with the product. If I was a little bit unsure, I'd be on the phone to him and just actually give him that that information that the next box is due. You're ready to take it. If he's not, then I will do. I'll delay it. Now, the other thing as well, I know that later on in February there's a meeting going on in Edinburgh, a Juice Plus meeting.
So I've even got a bigger excuse to phone this particular customer up to tell them about the meeting, and it's my obligation to try and get them to that meeting as well. So that's very important. Now, let's say we had the conversation and he said, no, I'm not ready, and in fact, what I want to do is I want to delay it, okay? So what you can then do is you can go into My Customers, and if you then edit the customer account, select that, type in the customer's name, and then process the search, it will come back with that particular customer. I would then double-click into the number on the left-hand side, which is the arrow number, scroll down within the customer, and then it gives me several options. I can change the name and address, I can change the payment information, I can delay the next shipment, I can even change the product on the next shipment, or I can cancel the existing customer in some kind of way. Now, you don't want to cancel it if you can help it, and one of the ways that you can actually kind of help the customer is by delaying it. And, you know, you're not actually then going to get a cancellation. And even when I get people say, well, I'm not quite sure about this, I say, well, why don't I delay it for a couple of months and then, you know, let's have a chat about it there afterwards. At least it's still an active customer on the system. You've got to remember to go back and then alter that at some later date. Now, that's all very well for your customers. However, if you're building a team within your Juice Plus business, then what you really need to do is to find out a little bit more about the total customers. And what you would be looking at there is you'd be going into My Team, and then down at the bottom, there's two particular reports. You can actually call the Customer Analysis Report. And that Customer Analysis Report will be for all your frontline distributors, and you can actually pull up all the customers on the screen. So you can then maybe help a particular frontline distributor with maybe some of the calls that they might have to have or should be making. But more importantly, what you are doing, you're actually advising and helping your team member to, you know, just look at where their customers are, what new customers or what existing customers are going to be issued with another box, and just prompt them to make those calls, and that's very important. You can also get another report. If you go into My Team Informer Reports, you can get a PCP, what's called a PCP genealogy report. And that is a preferred customer genealogy, and you can actually have that in different forms. You can have it for all the customers in all the countries, or you can have it just in your home country. And by selecting that and sending it to your email, you can then have a list that you can go through at the start of the month and just say to your own team, hey, listen, these are the customers that are coming out. These are the calls you've got to make. Very important that you get in touch with that. Now, let's say you did get a call from your customer and they said, oh, I haven't had my box yet. And where would I go to find that information? Well, that's quite interesting, because when you go into My Customers, there's an option at the bottom there called your order analysis. And what you can see at any one time, you can see all the orders for this month and for the previous month. And from there, you can then establish what actually has happened to that particular customer. And what this report does is it highlights the actual new boxes of Juice Plus that have been physically shipped in that particular month. By double-clicking the highlighted sales order number, it takes you into the Parcel Force website, and from there you can actually select the actual kind of tracking number, and it will show up on the Parcel Force where it's physically been delivered or what's actually happened to it, and the scheduling since it's actually gone into the Parcel Force system. So very, very clever piece of information that you can actually use to track your customers. And the good news is you don't have to go to the office to find this out. It's all there for you to help in your back office. So that's really as much as I'd like to say about customer retention. I'm happy to open up the lines for a couple of minutes just to kind of take a couple of questions if there are some questions. I will post onto the various Facebook pages a copy of this customer care information that we've gone through tonight. Also, the call has been recorded. I'll make sure that that's uploaded, as well as the other two calls. And what we're going to do is we're going to have these calls that you can actually use and download and listen to on a periodic basis. So are there any questions? If there are, if you press star and 0 and come back into the call, I'm happy to answer some calls. Any questions? Wow. Is anyone on?
Is anybody on the call?
Okay, well that's fantastic. That means that it's all very clear, and I'm glad to hear that there are no questions. It means we've done a great job, Michelle. Well done to you.
And you.
So all that remains for me to say is, look, 600 customers in January, let's go for 650 in February. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's kind of build on this kind of growth that we're having. 500% growth in January is something that we really, really, really need to capitalize on and to move forward. So well done to everybody. Thank you very much for kind of giving up your time and coming on the call tonight, and we hope to speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.